Hello, hello, hello. Angel here. Welcome to or back to this space. Lovely to see you here one more time. So today we're doing a tarot tag at Chanel Days, hashtag mid-year tarot tag. Now, wait a minute. I feel like I've just done this, but it was a year ago I did this tag. Time flies when you're having fun, does it not? So we're going to be getting into it, just in just a mo with the first prompt, because that makes sense. We've got 13 prompts, and without further ado, should we do it? Should we get into it? Let's. So prompt number 1, deck you've used the most so far in 2025. Now I am going to go for a combination here: the Lioness Oracle Tarot, Second Hand Find Indie Deck, the Cosmic Crossroads Oracle, Mass Market, Inner Child Oracle, Mass Market, Tarot of the Cosmic Seed, Mass Market was Once Upon a Time Indie. Now, I've gone for these because these decks I used from the start of the year, January through to March, actually, I think. And I think the reason that I stuck with the same combination of decks, which I don't usually do. If you watch my channel, I don't tend to stick with the same combination, is because I had a calling from deity in the December, beginning of January, and it just made sense for me to stick with these decks and really focused all my energy on the deity work. So these decks helped me with my, I'm going to say, Dawn Michelle's practice, for instance, the weaver's practice that I take part in. Yeah, and it just, I don't know, it just made sense to me at the time to keep these in rotation for 3 months. It didn't even occur to me. It didn't even occur to me to swap them out. I just didn't feel called to it, and I was enjoying this one so much. I really, really adored the Cosmic Seed Tarot. And I don't know, it just made sense. And then in March, I was kind of, these two, now this is going to sound really naughty, nothing against the creators, nothing against the decks. It was just, I don't know, I think it was just, I couldn't put my full focus on these because I was so engrossed in the deity work, I think. So although I made the connection with these two were kind of just like, hanging, like, no, not hanging about, but like just following along on the ride almost. And so this deck, when I first looked at this in January, deciding if I was going to use it for January, it was like really salty. It had a bit of a sassy attitude towards me, and I was like, okay. And although I decided to use it in the end, this one was a bit like sassy, it was a bit like a teenager with a bit of an attitude, I felt. And it could have just been where I was within my practice at that moment in time. I'm sure I pulled the cards obviously today to pop on the desk, and I got a bit of a different vibe today. So maybe it was just the headspace I was in January. Maybe because my whole focus was on the deity calling to me. And maybe that's why I experienced these decks differently. So in March, I was like, why am I, this sounds really awful. I don't mean this, I'm not being mean, but I was like, why am I still keeping these ones in the rotation when they're not like blowing my hair back. They're good, but they're not like, wow. And I think it was just as mentioned that I was like so focused on the deity work that, these worked. They just worked really, really well. But these two were the standout for the combination. But I am now, when I've got these back out now, like today, like, for this prompt, I'm thinking, yeah, I think I just wasn't in the right headspace. Oh, that was a big chat about two decks that, I wasn't overly impressed with. Not overly, no, that sounds really naughty. It just wasn't the right time in my practice. Although they did stay in my practice for 3 months. So, you take from that what you will, because clearly they weren't that bad. Otherwise I wouldn't have kept them in my rotation for 3 months. So you take away what you want to take away from this prompt. Yeah, I think we're going to move on to prompt number 2 because I've chatted enough about this. Can I just say, I'm loving, I love colour, I love collage. Ooh, it's just, Okay, let's move on to prompt number 2. So prompt number 2, a deck that has come into your collection. That's got to be this one. There's been a few that have come into my collection, but Tira May's Ritual Tarot came into my collection. I want to say maybe, no, I don't know when it came in, but I blooming love it. Oh, I've mentioned this deck, I've spoken about this deck previously. I didn't feel drawn to Tira May's artwork at all, and then I don't know if it was February or January, I can't remember, to be honest, I can't remember, but I just know that suddenly I was like, it just started speaking to me, and I really wanted to bring it into my collection. And unfortunately, I couldn't order it from Tira May direct because they weren't shipping to the country that I live in. Love this. And or am living in, I am living in the same country. And so I managed to get hold of it. I think it was from a Finnish indie deck site, or whether it was the Netherlands. I can't remember, but it was the Netherlands or it was Finland, because I also purchased the Cave of Sibyl Oracle, and I feel that came from Finland. I think this might have come from the Netherlands. I can't remember, but either way, it was one of the two countries, and I was just so happy to get my hands on it. I really was. I love this, and so this has been sitting on my desk since then, and I've been trying it out with the Deviant Moon Tarot, which I've actually really enjoyed, and I really want to do a deep dive with this. I've already created a journal for it, but I don't know what it is. There's something stopping me, and I don't know if it's. I don't feel that there's this like reverence. This is going to sound negative. I don't mean it in a negative way, but like, for instance, the Mary L Tarot, I was like, oh, I don't know. Oh no, I can't. Oh no, I'm not worthy. It's not that with this. There's something else. It's like, it almost feels like it's not the time yet. And I've mentioned in my previous videos very recently that there's something brewing on the horizon. There's something brewing. It's not a storm, but there's something brewing. And I wonder if this is going to come into play for that. I'm not like feeling, oh, I really want to get it out, and when. I'm not feeling that, not anxiety, but that like, oh, tell me. I appreciate that this will come into my practice when it's supposed to. And at the moment, I get it out, I have a little bit of a playtime on my desk with the Deviant Moon, look through the artwork, which I think is amazing, let it speak to me, and but at the minute I'm not drawing cards particularly so much for divination or for messages. I'm kind of just playing with it with the Deviant Moon as mentioned. And I'm especially working with this card actually specifically just at the moment because I'm doing a bit of a thoth surprise study. I'm going to leave it at that. Lust card. Love it. These are the ones with the titles on the back, which I haven't felt I've needed, to be honest. I think they're kind of speaking to me, so as it were. So that's my deck for prompt number 2. Prompt number 3 is a deck that could be better. Oh, I don't like this prompt very much. Now I'm going to bend this prompt a little bit, and I'm going to show these two decks again. Inner Child Oracle, Cosmic Crossroads Oracle. After that first prompt, I kind of put the cards back in the box, and I suddenly thought, I'm feeling a bit drawn to get these out again. So there's me moaning about the fact that I didn't click as much with these decks as I did with the others in that combination, and here I am thinking, oh, I think I might want to get those back out again. So you know how this goes. So I'm going to pull these forward for this prompt. However, I think instead of a deck that could be better, I think I just think I'm in a better headspace now than I was in January using these decks and in February. So yeah, that's those two by the same creators. Mass Markets mentioned. They're coming back out again. And I pulled a card from a message from this deck straight away, or like now, just so I got the cards back out again. And I was like, what message do you have for me? And this was, go on an adventure. Today is the day to try something daring. And this one was chaos. So this one is still a bit salty, this one, I feel. Let me pull one more. What do you think of me? What does this deck think of me? What does this deck think of me? I'm going to go with that one because that looks like it's peeking out. I don't want to keep you waiting. Oh, vulnerability. Wasn't that the one on top? An expansion. Oh, well, there you go. Was that in shot? I don't know. I hope so. So yes. So I need to have a better headspace for these decks. That's the prompt. I'm smushing it up a wee bit. Let's move on to prompt number 4. So prompt number 4, a deck I'm currently using. I'm going to show you 3 because I'm a cheeky monkey like that. This is the Dark Wayward Tarot. This is the Outgrow Yourself Oracle / Tarot, and this little old deck is Rebecca Campbell's Work Your Light Oracle. I got this deck out for I can't think, a recent tag. Oh, Editor's Pick Decks, I think it was. And I got it out and I was like, oh, I feel really drawn to get that out and start using it again. And I did, and I've been using it, actually, I know it sounds bizarre, in combination with this, which kind of led me onto some Thoth study. I don't know, it's a whole rabbit hole. I have fallen down it. I don't deny it. And I've been really blooming enjoying these three together. I had a really amazing reading. Was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was the day before. It was the day before. It was Sunday. Oh my goodness, it blew my socks off. It blew me out the water. It blew my hair back. Blooming loved it. I've put this one back in order. However, if I might be so bad, I'm going to show you these two as well. I've bought these two decks out as well. This is the Liberty Tarot. This is a Thoth-inspired deck. I've put this back in order, so I'm going to use this as a study deck. And I've also, which I had out anyway, because I felt a bit drawn to this, also the original Thoth, which I've put back in order as well. So I'm thinking, although I put this back in order, I was going to, compare the images. I'm thinking that I'm going to shuffle this one up and use it just as, for messages, and then use the other two as study decks and to compare the images. Does that make sense? I hope so. Didn't have any plans to bring this out. Bought this out in a video recently. What video was that? Oh, that was the tag I did. This was the 12th deck from the right on my shelf, and I was like, oh, I think I might be feeling drawn to that. But initially this year, I didn't have any plans to work with it. Got this message on Sunday. Oh, love, 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 love. So yes, so there's me saying, I don't feel drawn to colour. I feel drawn to the darker decks, the black and white decks. And here I am bringing out, full colour. What's the word? Rebecca Campbell decks. But I don't know. If it works, it works. What does it matter? As long as it makes sense to me, it doesn't matter. So yes, these are the decks. Surprisingly, this one, and surprising this one that I'm using currently, and Thoth generally, which was not on the cards for this year at all. So, this kind of also reinstates the whole thought process that I have of, I've spoken recently about having this rehoming of decks. I haven't rehomed any of the decks that I've pulled out of my collection as yet. They're sitting in my wardrobe in two very large bags. And today I was thinking, maybe I shouldn't rehome anything. Maybe I just need to put them, just leave them there, let them, sit and rest. And then when they start calling to me again, just to bring them forward. Because, what's the deck I pulled forward today? Tarot of the Spirit. I haven't used that since I purchased it. I've never used it. And because of this Thoth, study that I've been doing, I decided to bring it forward today. So, things just, they call at the weirdest of times, the most unexpected times. So I think that's kind of reinstated the thought that I shouldn't be rehoming decks. I should be just holding on to them until they call to me. That was a long, long chat. Let's move on to prompt number 5, which is biggest surprise. Ooh. So there's me jabbering on about decks I want to rehome. This was a deck that was in that rehoming bag. This is the Mystical Dreams Tarot, I want to say it's called. I did a mod on this one. I've edged mine on 3 sides, but not the side that I cut off, because I can't decide if I want to edge it in black or not. And this was a tarot, and it was in the rehoming bag. And the rehoming bag was sitting by my dining room table, my lounge table, sorry. And then it just suddenly was like, woo, QE. I think I've got something to tell you. And I got the deck out, which is in this big box, and started looking at it. And I was like, I'm not sure if I should be rehoming this, but it doesn't speak to me as a tarot. And the thought just suddenly struck me, and I thought, well, is it not best that I modify it and make it my own as an oracle deck and use it, than it be rehomed as a tarot deck? Which kind of made sense to me. So that's what I did. I decided to get the deck out, obviously, and give the cards a shuffle. And this was actually the card that came up when I asked if this deck how it felt about me rehoming it, or if I wanted to stay in my collection, I think it was. This card showed up, and also that first card, where's that gone? This card also came up, and I was like, oh yeah, I like this cutting the chains. So and then this also came up in another reading. I was doing some past life readings with this deck after I had modified it, and I didn't know anything about past life readings, didn't know how to go about it, and I just thought, what's the worst that can happen? famous last words. And I got pulled this deck out, and I was like, how can this deck help me with this past life work? And it threw me the onion card, and I was like, yes, please help me peel back all the layers. You know, I need all the help I can get. So I've kind of been, this deck has been appearing here, there, and everywhere, basically, within the readings I've been doing recently. And it hasn't what's the word? I want to say like what's the word? Like bonded itself to another deck. It's just been like, it's, you know, popping in here with this selection of decks. It's popping in there with that selection of decks. It's popping in over here with another selection of decks. So I'm going to go out on a whim, and I'm going to say this is a really versatile deck. And I'm really glad that this deck waved at me from that rehoming bag, which is now not being rehomed. It's in the wardrobe as just taking a rest. Oh, look, a rest. In this cocoon, waiting to emerge. Oh, I love it. This speaks to me of the butterfly soup card that I've been working with this month. That's for another time. That's for another story. Keep a watch out for May favourites. I'll explain more. And I know I've totally lost train of thought, but I'm just going to tell you that I've been loving it. And I'm so glad. Oh, that's what I was saying. I'm so glad that it waved at me from that bag. And I'm so glad that I got into my little brain that I should modify it and use it as a intuitive oracle instead of rehoming it as an unused, unloved, unappreciated tarot deck. End of. Next prompt. So prompt number 6, deck crush. That's got to be this one. It's a no-brainer. The Cave of Sybil. Yeah, this was the start. This was the start of the Tira May decks, I feel. Although maybe I was still already feeling drawn to Tira May's artwork in the Ritual Tarot. But I know that I couldn't get my hands on it. And I was so disappointed. And again, this is the deck that I contacted Tira May for on Etsy, and they were like, sorry, I don't send to your country. I'm unable to. And I was like so disappointed. And I was like, right. How can I get my hands on this one? So this is where I got it from. I'm sure it was Finland I got it from in the end. I'm so glad I did, because it's been such an amazing tool. It's not even a tool. It goes much deeper than that. I don't even have the words for it. It's just so powerful and so potent. And it's just amazing. I'm still working with this card, which is one of the cards, let me just do this, sorry, that I felt really drawn to when I first opened the deck, as well as this one. This kind of instigated the past life womb healing work, I think, in connection with the deity I'm working with, which is, you know, kind of, I was in meditation with my deity, which I mentioned in the video, Calling from Deity, which I'll link in the description box below, right there. This kind of really tied it. I don't know if it started this red thread. I don't know, but it was like another red thread that was running through these images. This, you know, this called, you know, past life, womb healing. Oh, it just wrapped it all up in like a little bowed package for me, and it all made sense at the time, and it still makes sense. I'm still working with these two cards. They're sitting on my altar, and I don't think I've got any intention of them, you know, going back into the deck as yet. As well as those cards, I also pulled out these ones recently, which really makes sense to me. This is Skinwalker. This is Communion. I blooming love this. And this is Gather. And this all makes sense to me, almost like in this inner mausoleum work that I'm still working with, and my shadow selves, you know, looking to be acknowledged and shown some understanding for what they've done for me. I'm just going to leave it at that. But it's just so powerful. It's so powerful. If you have this deck, you know, yeah, it's just, you might have already experienced it. And if you've got it and you're thinking, ooh, I don't know, I feel really like intimidated by it, just relax into it. I know that sounds really difficult, but just relax into it and look through the deck and see what draws you. Don't be nervous about it. It's, you know, it's here to lead you and it might be some uncomfortable things that it's going to lead you through, but it's here to, I find this deck really supportive. I don't find it what's the word, prickly, or I can't think, I don't have any fantastic words in my brain at the minute, but you know, I don't find this deck confronting. I find it I'm going to put some words on the screen for you. Editing Angel is going to, you know, sort it out, I promise. So yes, if you do have this deck and you're feeling a bit intimidated, you know, just breathe and relax into it, and you know, it might start talking to you unexpectedly. Let's move along. Okay, prompt number 7, a favourite single card from a tarot deck. Ooh, that's a toughie. So this has got to be a card from the Lumina Tarot. This was a second-hand deck that I found on my super favourite online second-hand shop, which sells all different things, not just tarot decks, but I was lucky enough to get my hands on this one, and even the Free and Connected Oracle, I think it's called, for an amazing price. Anyway, this is the card, the Devil card. Now, I do have this deck in the indie French version. So this card is from the French deck, which I find quite cold. The deck I find like quite, you know, I've tried using it and I've been like, oh no. But this deck I don't find cold at all, so it's very bizarre. Anyway, this card is sitting right here on my my Devil card altar for the year, because I'm in Devil card year. And this card I find exceptionally interesting and intriguing because it's a bison, and the bison is my animal ally. And I'm in a devil year, and you know, if my animal ally is willing to lead me through this devil year, I need all the help I can get. I really do. Well, actually, I don't just need help through the devil year. I just need help generally, because you know, I'm a scatty mess basically. Oh, holy moly! You know, the truth hurts. Anywho, so yeah, so I've been really enjoying this deck. I haven't used it so much because the Wild Unknown has kind of like been like snatching. It really has been snatching my attention. I've been blooming and really enjoying that deck. But this is still sitting on my tarot card, which is right beside me, and I still want to get this out. So strangely enough, this year, as mentioned with the first combination of decks I showed you, I haven't been swapping out my decks as much as I have been previously. Which is very interesting for, you know, so it's an interesting development for this year. Excuse me. So there we go. That is the card that I'm most enjoying right at the moment, and my favourite card, because I'm in a Devil year and I'm exceptionally intrigued by all of the Devil cards in all of the decks, and specifically this one because it's my animal ally. And as mentioned, help me, animal ally. Help me in my Devil year. Okay, next prompt. So, prompt number 8, a deck that makes me happy. That was a tough prompt. I was like, I don't know, what deck is it in my collection that makes me happy? And I know I've shown this one recently. That was a terrible shuffle, sorry for dropping the cards. I know I've shown this one recently, but I'm going to show it again because this one does genuinely make me happy, because it reminds me of being, as I mentioned previously in recent videos, it reminds me of, you know, being a child at my nan's house, my nan and my uncle's house, watching this film. So, I still need to know what colour to edge the deck. Should I edge it in yellow for the Yellow Brick Road, red for the Ruby Red Slippers, or green for Emerald City? I don't know. I'm not feeling pulled to a specific colour. Let me know in the description box, what do you reckon? But this is the deck that makes me happy. These are the cards that were my message for today. Not that you care, because you want to see the cards, and I'm going to show you in a wee second. High Priestess and the Four of Cans. Oh, I get this card a lot. I really do, and especially from my ancestors. I'm going to just show you a few cards because you have already seen them very recently. I love this bloke. You killed her. I love that bloke. Yeah, I'm going to show you this one as well because some of them are sepia toned, because obviously we're in Kansas, and then the ones that are in Oz are in colour, which is gorgeous. So this is the deck. If I was, you know, thinking about a specific deck that made me happy, well, actually this was the only one that popped into my mind, because, you know, my decks make me happy. I'm happy that I have them. I'm happy that I have them in my collection, but they don't they don't, you know, I don't feel this swell of emotion, you know, this happiness welling inside of me, except with this deck, because obviously it brings that back, that nostalgia. So yes, that is the Wizard of Oz tarot. I'm gonna be a cheeky monkey and just look at the guidebook, because I haven't even looked at it yet, because I just haven't had the time. I haven't had the time, I tell you. We're gonna look at the High Priestess, dooby doo with Glinda, which I'm not a big fan of Glinda. I think she's got some, what's the word, some dark reasoning behind her what's the word, her intentions. I'm talking about the original Wizard of Oz film. I haven't seen the newest Wicked. I don't feel drawn to that at all, unfortunately. Anyway, I'm totally babbling. Apologies. Right, so we've got the full colour picture. We've got the number of the title. We've got Glinda the Good Witch. Let's have a look here. Empathy and grace allow Dorothy to embrace a strange new world. The High Priestess enters your reading with the same invitation. It's time to explore beyond the physical world you know, even if it takes you to strange places. Ooh, I like that. Glinda trusts her instincts that this strange young lady who fell from a star is a hero. There is a power in trusting your intuition. Ooh, I like that a lot. We've got an upright and we've got reversed. Oh, I do like me some of that. Okay, maybe Glinda's not so, you know, dark as I perceived her to be. Right, that was a long explanation for that prompt as well. Let's you know, get our skates on and let's move on to prompt number 9. So prompt number 9, great guidebook. I'm going to be a bit cheeky. I'm going to pull the Every Little Thing You Do Is Magic guidebook, the extra guidebook. There's a guidebook with a deck and there's an extra guidebook. This was a deck that I planned to use last month, in May, and I did use it. However, I only used it for a couple of readings in connection with turning the Terrestrial Tides Tarot, which I really enjoyed. However, I did not get into the guidebook, and I'm thinking I may need to do like just a deep dive with this deck, with this guidebook, or with this journal almost, because I think it's really going to pay dividends. Not pay, but you know what I mean. I think I'm going to get a lot from it. Now, some of the guidebook is as a duplicate of what you get in the guidebook that comes with the deck, but there are other exercises in the guidebook that you don't get, so I'm really looking forward to diving into that. So I haven't, it's not tried and tested, but in my humble opinion, I think it's going to be an exceptionally excellent guidebook. Am I allowed to choose this guidebook for this prompt? It's too late. I've done it, done and dusted. Prompt number 10, a deck I want by the end of the year or are still waiting for. Number 10, a deck I want by the end of the year or are still waiting for. Well, it's funny you should ask. I was perusing Etsy a little while ago, as you do, and I saw a super duper fantastic deck called Road to Equilibrium Tarot. Now, this is by a creator called Sombro Sky, I want to say, and without realising it, I already had a deck by this creator. This was a second-hand find that I believe I treasure hunted on my Super Duper second-hand online shop. This was a Kickstarter, and so was the Road to Equilibrium Tarot. Now, I saw the images for that one, which I'm going to pop in the on screen now for you, which are a bit darker. There's more intensity within the images, I feel, compared with the Tarot of Transcendence, which I got second-hand. And I was kind of, you know, trying to be a bit, you know, reserved, and I didn't purchase it straight away, but after thinking about it for a few weeks, I pushed the buy button. So that one is winging its way to me now, and hopefully it'll be arriving with me, well, within the next week, hopefully. It's from Vietnam. It's coming from Vietnam. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I'm really looking forward to that one. Yeah, so there we go. That was that prompt. Let's move on to the next one. So prompt number 11, a deck you haven't used but you want to use by the end of the year. Now, I did do a recent pre-birthday tarot to be read list. I'll link that in the description box. These two decks are also pretty much on that list, although I didn't mention them in the video because I had so many decks to show you in that video. The Tarot Landscapes and the For Hexa Tarot, Indie, which is now mass market. This is mass market. And I really, really want to get to these two. oh, sorry, just get rid of the boxes by the end of the year. I've edged mine in blue, which I don't remember doing, but clearly I did. And this one I edged in orange, which I think is gorgeous because it matches the backs. So anyway, yes, I even created a journal for this one, back in December, because I had already planned in December to be using it for this year, just here. Which is a dinky little journal. You know, I did it with like some, you know, I did it a bit rustic looking, you know. Can you see that? Or did I totally get that shot? Apologies. And it's got like signatures and everything, you know. Did that over my Christmas vacation. Christmas vacation? That sounds like a film. What was my point? Yeah, so I'm kind of prepared, and my plan was not sure, past, present tense, don't know. Am planning to use these decks for Kelly Bear's hashtag Tarot Advent, which I'm going to do, like, you know, throughout the year. And I did one of those in January, I think, with the Tarot Vampires deck, and since then I haven't done any other work because of this deity work and the shadow work and the mausoleum work that's been going on. So yeah, and now I'm thinking, actually, with these two together, could they pair together? Aren't they? I mean, look at, didn't that really feel like, I mean, I don't know. I'm just wondering if they might sneakily be a cheeky beaky pairing. I mean, is there not some synchronicity going on here? Ooh. Oh, could it be two birds, one stone? Could I be using my super duper journal for both decks? I don't know. Watch this space. But these are definitely two decks that I really want to get to this year. I have used this one previously. I've mentioned this so many times for my work with Melusina, the freshwater deity. Love this. Ooh, I love that a lot. Freshwater deity, Melusina. Come along now, brain. Oh, yes, but unfortunately I found this one a little bit too sharp. So this was, what's the word? Put on the bench, using a football term, not knowing any football terms. And why did I use a football reference? I don't know anything about football. I used a different deck for my work with Melusina. Oh, I'm really intrigued if these two might work together. Anyway, yes. So, and I had created a journal for this one, not as intricate as the other one, not as intricate as this for Hexa Tarot journal. But let me look at this. Ooh, yes. So, oh, and I really like this too. Oh, I'm thinking there's a possibility here. Oh, sorry, I'm going to stop chatting because I'm totally squirreling. I'm being a squirrel-brained person here. But yes, I really want to get to these two this year. As well as these two, I would actually really like to get to a third one, if I might be as cheeky as to show you. Let me just pop these somewhere else because I've got decks all around me. This is kind of not matching the prompt, but I'm going to show you anyway. I really am feeling intrigued, and I've got my trigger figure. I've got my trigger finger on the buy button for the Rosebud Tarot and the Relative Tarot, and I do not need those decks. I do not totally need those decks. And I'm thinking I would really like to work with this one this year instead of purchasing those two, because, you know, it feels like it's got a similar vibe. I don't know because I don't have any of those decks, but Our Tarot by Sarah Shipman. This comes in a beautiful box with a beautiful book, which is very thick, and I'm just going to damage that card because I'm an nincompoop. And I'm just wondering if this might, you know, curb the need to purchase those two decks. And I'm wondering if I could use this deck with the Night Wait Tarot. Oh. And I really haven't used this deck enough. I've used the book a lot, but I haven't used the deck so much. I'm hoping you can see these images. I love this. Nom 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 nom. And the guidebook is really chunky, and it gives you all the history of the ladies, the women in the tarot. Oh, love it, blooming love it. So I'm just wondering if that might be a way to stop myself also purchasing the other two decks, which I really don't need because I've got so many plates spinning within my practice at the minute, and so many other decks I would really like to get to. So, you know, I don't really need 2 more, but you know where that goes. Anyway, so yes, that was the 3rd deck, which I really shouldn't have shown, but you know, I'm a cheeky beaky, so what can I say? Prompt number 12, favourite video you've made or seen this year so far. I'm going to say the video that I've made, the favourite video that I've made this year is my Call from Deity video. Sorry, I'm putting the card back in the box while I talk to you. Apologies for the noise. The Call from Deity video, which I'm going to link in the description box, that was a really raw, I think, personally, raw and vulnerable video. I'm always honest in my videos, but I don't tend to be as private as I was in that video. And so it was like a real, I was really hesitant about posting it. Once it took me about 5 or 6 takes to actually make that video, because I was like, no, I've said the wrong thing. That doesn't sound right. No, that was too honest. No, that was too private. No. And then at the end of the day, I kind of consulted, can I say, or you know, went into meditation with my deity, and I just got the message through that, you know, just to be honest and, you know, to talk from the heart. And I was like, that really grounded me, actually. That kind of like really got rid of that squirrely brained overthinking that I can get into sometimes. And I was just like, yeah, I'm just going to speak from the heart. What's the worst that can happen? So that's what I did. And it was actually really, I'm going to use the word liberating, because it was just like, oh yeah, it was really felt good to speak my truth. So that was the video. It was a long answer, but that was the video that was my favourite video of the year on my channel so far. And the final prompt is pull a card for the next 6 months, or pick a card of the energy you want to bring into the next 6 months. Oh, what card am I going to choose? I don't know. Possibilities are endless. So this had to be a devil card. Of course it did. This is a devil card from the Liberation Tarot. Yeah, you know, I'm in the devil card year, so of course it had to be a devil card. I'm going to read you the excerpt or insert or the description from the guidebook. So the shadow, this is art by Amir Kadar, I want to say the name is. So we've got an image description. 2 figures embrace a tree. Their long luminous hair connects them, forging a single loop. The figures, their garments, the sky, the foliage, everything is coloured varying shades of green. And the description, or the guidebook reads, the devil is loose and so is its shadow. Touch the devil's shape and notice its size and texture. When we open the work of multi-generational healing, we are bound to make contact with our demons. Abuse, addiction, cycles of shame, harm and destructive violence. What do you know that you don't want to know? What are you pushing away? Listen, your shadows already know the answer. Oh, I know they do, and they're going to tell me their secrets, and we're going to work together. You know, there's this acknowledgement, this understanding going on within my practice. So yeah, that's it, we're done. Thank you so much to Chanel at Chanel Days. Have you done this tag? Let me know in the comment section, because I'd love to you know, watch your response if you have. Yeah, otherwise I'm going to thank you so much for spending some time with me. Have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Take care, and I really hope to see you in the next video. Toodaloo.